So far, 2024 has had a great run in terms of blockbuster films, even if some releases were delayed because of the Hollywood strikes, gotten our fair share of prequels, sequels, and threequels. I mean, come on. Inside Out 2, Deadpool and Wolverine, and the recently released Beetlejuice sequel was more than enough to make this year a good one. And to top that off, we have Joker gracing our screens pretty soon. But that doesn't mean 2025 is not going to give us a few blockbusters of its own. In fact, it's shaping up to be a year that'll go on to redefine blockbuster movies that could change the face of filmmaking and leave audiences in awe. With legendary franchises making triumphant returns, fresh stories emerging from visionary creators, and technological leaps in CGI that promise to blur the lines between fantasy and reality, the big screen lineups of 2025 might just take the imagination for storytelling up a notch. With visionary directors at the helm, jaw-dropping special effects, and epic narratives, these movies have fans buzzing with anticipation. In this video, we'll explore some of the most exciting and highly awaited films set to hit theaters in the upcoming year. From action-packed adventures to stunning sci-fi spectacles, there's plenty to look out for. So, without wasting another moment, let's dive into the upcoming blockbusters that are set to blow your mind. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Wolfman, January 17th, 2025. Universal has been working to bring its iconic monsters back to life for years. After The Mummy flopped both critically and financially, their plans for a monster cinematic universe were scrapped. The studio then shifted gears, giving filmmakers more creative freedom, which led to fresh takes on classic characters in films like The Invisible Man and Renfield. So, it was only a matter of time before The Wolfman got its turn. In 2020, filmmaker Leigh Whannell reimagined the classic Invisible Man for a modern audience, and now he's set to do the same with another iconic Universal monster, the Wolfman. Initially, the project was supposed to star Ryan Gosling, fresh off his success in Barbie, with Derek Cianfrance directing it. However, both eventually stepped away from the film, and now Whannell has taken over, with Christopher Abbott in the lead role. You might remember Abbott for his chilling performance in Poor Things. Anyways, this will be the first Wolfman movie from Universal in 15 years. Like many past versions of the Wolfman, Whannell's take seems to be set in modern times. Now, the original 1941 Wolfman told the story of Larry Talbot, who returns back to Wales to make amends with his father and kills a werewolf that was attacking a young woman, only to be bitten by the beast himself. This curse causes Larry to transform into a wolf every night, not just during full moons, with no memory of his actions or the harm he causes when he returns to his human form. 2 years later, the sequel Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman was released, in which Larry is resurrected by grave robbers who expose him to the full moon. After he seeks to rid himself of the werewolf curse, Larry turns to Dr. Frankenstein for help. Fast forward to 2010, and we saw a remake with Benicio del Toro and Emily Blunt, which followed a similar plot to the 1941 film. Unfortunately, this version flopped at the box office. With The Mummy in 2017 also underperforming, Universal seemed to retreat from diving deep into their Universal Monsters lineup. According to the official plot synopsis, Christopher Abbott will play Blake, a man whose family is being terrorized by a deadly predator after they leave the city and move into a secluded house in Oregon. However, there is speculation that Abbott's character may actually be the one behind the attacks, as he gets attacked by a mysterious creature and begins to transform into the Wolfman. Alongside Abbott, Julia Garner, known for her role in Ozark in the upcoming Fantastic Four, will also be starring as Charlotte, Blake's wife, who was a powerful businesswoman before they moved to Oregon. Originally, this Blumhouse horror film was set to release in October 2024, but it's now been pushed to January 17, 2025. On Friday, September the 6th, Universal Pictures dropped the official teaser trailer for Wolfman, where we see a quick 70-second preview taking cues from the original Alien trailer, featuring a montage of brief, intense clips from the movie as the title slowly fades in over the footage. While the teaser doesn't reveal much, it does give us a clearer idea of the plot. When Ryan Gosling was first attached to star in Wolfman, the film was supposed to revolve around an anchorman who becomes cursed. However, it looks like the plot has been revamped since then.
Why aren't you dead? Multiples.
Mickey 17, January 31st, 2025. At the 92nd Academy Awards, Bong Joon-ho made history with his dark thriller Parasite, which became the first foreign-language film to win Best Picture at the Oscars. The film also took home Best International Feature Film, and Bong won awards for both directing and screenwriting. With such a groundbreaking success, film fans are eagerly anticipating his next project, Mickey 17, a sci-fi film starring Robert Pattinson. For those who don't know, Mickey 17 is based on Edward Ashton's novel and will star Robert Pattinson as a clone sent to help colonize an icy planet. Each time one clone dies, another takes their place, retaining all the previous clones' memories. Pattinson will be joined by a stellar cast, including Stephen Yeun, Toni Collette, Mark Ruffalo, and Naomi Ackie. Mickey 17 was one of my top picks for 2024 before it got pushed back to January 2025, but we finally got some new glimpses of it as Warner Brothers dropped the full trailer. In the teaser, we saw Pattinson's character waking up in what looks like a cryogenic freezer. If you're wondering why the Mickey 17 teaser ends with Stephen Yeun's character Berto telling Robert Pattinson's Mickey to have a nice death, here's the scoop on the film's premise. Based on Edward Ashton's novel Mickey 7, the movie features Pattinson as an expendable named Mickey 17. He's a disposable worker on a mission to colonize the icy planet Niflheim. Mickey 17's role involves handling the most dangerous tasks, and if he dies, a new clone is again created with most of his memories intact. Unfortunately, things get complicated when an accident results in the creation of a new Mickey while the previous one is still alive, and I guess that's what the film is really about. But the film is a quick turnaround from Edward Ashton's 2022 book Mickey 7, as the book's official synopsis describes Mickey 7 as an expendable space traveler on a high-risk mission to colonize the icy world of Niflheim, and whenever Mickey dies, a new clone is created with most of his memories, making him essentially immortal. As for why the film title changed from Mickey 7 to Mickey 17, well, that still remains a mystery. We know that Edward Ashton wrote a short story years ago that explored a kind of crappy immortality because he liked the concept and wanted to expand it by pairing it with an exploitative social structure. Later, in an interview, Ashton shared his experience as an executive producer on the film. He mentioned how his role is mostly symbolic, as director Bong Joon-ho is running the show and writing the script himself. He asked for Ashton's input on a few things early on, but it was mostly related to certain details that even the writer hadn't thought of, such as how the creepers reproduce. So far, Ashton has full faith in Bong Joon-ho, even if he is known for his reputation of straying from the source material. Captain America: Brave New World 2025, February 14th, 2025. The next big screen adventure for our star-spangled hero is on the way. Originally titled Captain America: New World Order, the upcoming film has been renamed as Captain America: Brave New World. Feature Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson, continuing his journey as the new Captain America after the events of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Disney+, where we saw Wilson's journey to become Captain America, with help from Sebastian Stan's Bucky Barnes. Despite their rocky start, the two eventually become close allies and friends. Emily Van Camp also appeared as Sharon Carter, former S.H.I.E.L.D. agent and Peggy Carter's niece, while Wyatt Russell made his debut as John Walker, the faux Captain America, who later becomes the villainous US agent. However, not all the series cast members have been confirmed to return for the upcoming film, fueling plenty of questions about what's to come. After facing multiple delays, Captain America: Brave New World is now set to hit theaters on February 14th, 2025. Marvel Studios first dropped the teaser for Captain America: Brave New World on July 12th, 2024, which opens with Sam Wilson meeting President Thunderbolt Ross at the White House, where Ross suggests that Captain America should join the military to show the world a better way forward. We then see Sam and Joaquin Torres attending a Ross-hosted event when Isaiah Bradley suddenly stands up and attacks the president. What follows is a fast-paced montage, with Sam warning Ross that his inner circle has been compromised. Among the quick cuts, we get brief shots of what seems to be the leader and a mysterious villain played by a familiar Breaking Bad actor. The trailer wraps up with a tense exchange between Ross and Sam. In the final moments, the Red Hulk makes a dramatic appearance, hurling Captain America's shield into the concrete. Like Winter Soldier, which drew inspiration from 1970s political thrillers like 3 Days of the Condor, this new film is being described as a paranoid thriller, is expected to tackle themes of government corruption and distrust. What kind of political conspiracy Sam Wilson will have to face, though, is still under wraps. Harrison Ford is stepping into the role of General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, following the passing of William Hurt, who played Ross in 4 previous MCU films. Sam and Ross already have some unresolved history, because back in Civil War, Ross imprisoned Sam for breaking the Sokovia Accords. According to executive producer Nate Moore, this tension will come to a head in Brave New World as Sam and Ross find themselves at odds once again. Plus, during San Diego Comic-Con 2024, an exclusive clip was shown, revealing that Brave New World will officially introduce adamantium into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In the clip, Ford's President Ross addresses a global audience, announcing the discovery of a celestial found in the ocean, which he claims is made entirely out of adamantium. So you might just want to save the date from now itself, as it seems like there'll be a lot to see in the new Captain America film. Snow White, March 21st, 2025. Like Disney's 1937 animated classic, the upcoming Snow White is loosely inspired by the Brothers Grimm 19th century fairy tale. However, this new adaptation comes with some modern twists, including reimagining Snow White's companions as a diverse group of forest dwellers rather than the traditional 7 dwarfs. During Disney's 2022 D23 Expo, fans were treated to a 30-second teaser that offered glimpses of what's to come, including a brief but iconic moment of Rachel Zegler's Snow White biting into the poisoned apple. These updates suggest the film will blend familiar elements with fresh takes on the classic story. Rachel Zegler was cast as Snow White in June 2021 and has hinted that her version of the character will be much stronger than the original. A few months later, Gal Gadot joined the cast as the evil queen. Apparently, she had to audition by singing, which she hadn't done in a while. The team needed to make sure she could sing because this is going to be a musical. Gadot also even adjusted her voice to fit the role and bring a fresh take to the iconic villain. But after Rachel Zegler's casting in the lead role of Snow White was announced, there was some backlash from those who felt that a Latina actor shouldn't play a character famously described as having skin as white as snow. But Zegler addressed this reaction and expressed her hope to shift perceptions about who can play certain roles. She mentioned that it was surprising to her that this opportunity came her way, as Latina Snow Whites are not typically seen, despite Snow White's popularity in Spanish-speaking countries. It was first reported in 2016 that Walt Disney Pictures was developing a live-action remake of their beloved animated classic, Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. Initially, Erin Cressida Wilson was announced as the screenwriter. However, in November 2021, it was revealed that Greta Gerwig had been brought on as a co-writer. By September 2022, 2 months after shooting had concluded, the 2022 D23 Expo presentation confirmed that the film would be released in 2024. Shortly thereafter, the official release date was set for March 22, 2024. But in July 2023, it was reported that photos from the film set seemed to confirm a diverse group of characters would replace the original fairy tale 7 Dwarfs. The decision, attributed to Disney's focus on inclusivity, of course faced backlash online from those who criticized the absence of actors from the dwarfism community in the film. But after the Game of Thrones actor Peter Dinklage described the original plot as a backward story of 7 dwarfs living in a cave in 2022, Disney announced it would take a different approach and likely not include 7 dwarfs as in the classic tale. In response to Dinklage's remarks, the studio was apparently consulting with members of the dwarfism community during pre-production. But another controversy arose when Zegler confessed about not being fond of the original 1937 Disney princess film. She'd seen the original animated film only once before preparing for her role, and explained that her version of the character would reflect contemporary times, as it's no longer 1937. Gadot also said that Snow White wouldn't be saved by the prince, and Zegler elaborated that the character would focus on becoming a leader, as her late father had encouraged her to be fearless, fair, brave, and true. Zegler even described the prince in the original film as a stalker, and highlighted that the new adaptation wouldn't center around a love story. She remarked that the 1937 cartoon's focus on Snow White's romance with a character who literally stalks her was problematic. So the new film would take a different approach to what might be perceived as a love story, despite the inclusion of a male character. Unfortunately, the son of the animator who directed the original Snow White has already criticized the remake, labeling it as insulting. David Hand, a former Disney designer from the 90s, claimed that the remake alters the stories and characterizations from the original film, accusing the filmmakers of introducing new woke things that he doesn't support. Apparently, both his father and Walt Disney would be turning in their graves if they saw how their creation had been altered. Hand also suggested that Adriana Casalotti would be terrified by the notion that her portrayal of the character wasn't feminist.
Who are you?
I am Steve.
Minecraft, April 4th, 2025. The buzz around the Minecraft movie is growing, and it seems like it could become a major hit in terms of video game adaptations. Since its release in 2011, Minecraft has become one of the best-selling games of all time, for all the right reasons. With such a huge fan base, if Warner Brothers plays the cards right, the Minecraft movie could very well turn out to be one of the biggest box office successes of the decade. The film first started production back in 2014, and a lot's changed since then, both with the film, the entertainment industry, and the game itself. Even though Minecraft doesn't have a specific storyline to adapt, it does have a rich lore that fans are passionate about, and getting that lore right will be crucial for the movie. after keeping things under wraps for a while, the cast details for the Minecraft movie have finally been unveiled. Jason Momoa will star as Garrett the Garbage Man Garrison, and will be joined by Sebastian Hansen as Henry, Emma Myers as Natalie, and Danielle Brooks as Dawn. The four play a group of misfits who end up in the world of Minecraft. Apparently, Jack Black will make an appearance as Steve, the iconic game character who helps them find their way back to reality. The plot of the Minecraft movie seems like a straightforward but engaging story so far. The film centers on four outcasts who are unexpectedly transported into the world of Minecraft and must figure out how to return to reality. They get help from Steve, who's an expert in the game and knows how to navigate its challenges. According to the official synopsis, the characters will need to master in-game skills to help them succeed in their real-life quest. After years of anticipation and secrecy, the trailer for the Minecraft movie finally dropped in September 2024, giving us a glimpse of the four main characters as they enter the overworld and experience the game's intriguing world for the first time. While the trailer showcases many familiar aspects of the game, it keeps most details of the plot under wraps. Mission Impossible 8, May 23rd, 2025. When Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning came out in 2023, it was originally called Part 1. The movie had Ethan Hunt battling a powerful AI named the Entity, with memorable moments like him speeding a Fiat 500 through Rome and leaping his motorcycle off a cliff. Despite these exciting scenes, the film didn't perform as well as hoped for at the box office. That might be why the sequel has dropped the Part 1 label and is now simply titled Mission Impossible 8. Even with these challenges, the 8th installment of the Mission Impossible series is on its way to pick up where the previous film left off. Needless to say, Tom Cruise will be back as Ethan Hunt, joined by writer-director Christopher McQuarrie, the familiar faces of Ving Rhames, Simon Pegg, Haley Atwell, Vanessa Kirby, and Pom Klementieff. Some new faces include Hannah Waddingham, Nick Offerman, Casey O'Brien, Tramell Tillman, and Holt McElhaney. Now that Ethan Hunt knows the Entity is hiding on a Russian stealth submarine, the race to find the Sevastopol is on. Early in Dead Reckoning, audiences were given a key piece of information that Ethan and his team didn't have. The Entity went rogue aboard the Sevastopol, causing it to sink to the bottom of the ocean. This means Ethan and his crew will probably need to brush up on their diving skill if they hope to take down this rogue AI once and for all. Along the way, Ethan and the IMF team will definitely face challenges set by the Entity, which will stop at nothing to keep its location hidden. What kind of obstacles Ethan will encounter depends on the creativity of the team behind Mission Impossible 8. Fans are also hoping the film will address some lingering questions from Dead Reckoning, like the true nature of Ethan's relationship with Marie, the woman killed by Gabriel. The film has reportedly filmed some scenes in the Arctic, which might hint at a plot involving Ethan infiltrating a sunken Russian submarine to take down the Entity. Plus, we can expect to see Ethan performing stunts on an old-timey biplane, but not in the cockpit, as he'll be hanging out on the wings. These thrilling sequences are set to hit theaters on May 23rd, 2025. Megan 2.0, June 27, 2025. In early 2023, Megan became a huge hit for Universal Pictures, quickly leading to a sequel. Megan 2.0, set to hit theaters on June 27, 2025, will see writer Akela Cooper, stars Alison Williams and Violet McGraw, and director Gerard Johnston make a major comeback alongside some old faces and new. Producer James Wan mentioned that the new film will dive even deeper into the world of AI, especially as concerns about artificial intelligence continue to grow. We don't have a lot of details on the plot for Megan 2.0 yet, but the ending of the first film hints that Megan might still be out there, moving between systems as software. Although Megan didn't have a post-credits scene, the ending hints at more to come after Megan's AI system is transferred to Elsie, Gemma's virtual home assistant, suggesting she might be taking on a new form, infiltrating Gemma's home through various tech gadgets. With Megan's original doll body destroyed, she's likely to look quite different in the sequel. For now, she might be using her new form to learn and strategize before either getting a new titanium body or taking the shape of a newly designed robot. No matter what Megan looks like in the sequel, she'll definitely have a vendetta against Gemma and Katie for trying to take her down. With her emergent abilities and access to other technologies, Megan could become even more dangerous, potentially targeting a wider world beyond just Gemma and Katie. However, she might also stick to her original programming and continue to protect Katie. Whatever direction Megan 2.0 takes, it's bound to be thrilling and full of possibilities. Jurassic World Rebirth, July 2nd, 2025. Dinosaurs might be long gone, but the Jurassic Park franchise is still going strong. Since the original film hit theaters in 1993, the series has roared its way to billion-dollar success. Despite a few ups and downs, the T-Rex keeps raking in the box office dollars. After the Jurassic World trilogy, starring Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, Universal's gearing up for a fresh start with Jurassic World Rebirth. Set to hit theaters on July 2nd, 2025, Jurassic World Rebirth picks up 5 years after the events of Jurassic World Dominion, where the planet's environment has become largely unsuitable for dinosaurs. So, the remaining dinosaurs are isolated in tropical regions that mimic their ancient habitats and have settled into warmer equatorial regions where they thrive best. The plot kicks off when a team of experts sets out to collect DNA from the planet's 3 largest dinosaurs, hoping to use the genetic material to develop a groundbreaking new drug. However, their mission takes a turn for the worse, and them stranded on an island with a frightened family. Well, the most exciting news is that Scarlett Johansson will lead the cast of Jurassic World Rebirth. Joining her are Mahershala Ali, Jonathan Bailey, Manuel Garcia Rulfo, Rupert Friend, Luna Blaze, and David Iacono. The script is being written by David Koepp, who penned the original Jurassic Park, alongside Gareth Edwards, the director of Rogue One, and Godzilla, at the helm. Plus, to ensure the dinosaur scenes are as authentic as possible, the studio has also brought in paleontologist and evolutionary biologist Steve Broussat as the expert consultant. At this point, I'm convinced a film with dinosaurs can never go wrong. Superman, July 11th, 2025. In November 2022, James Gunn took the reins as the co-head of DC Studios, marking the start of a new chapter for DC superhero films. The first major result of his efforts will hit theaters in 2025 with Superman, which was previously known as Superman Legacy. This will be the Man of Steel's first solo film since the release of Man of Steel from over a decade ago. Written and directed by James Gunn, the upcoming Superman film will introduce a younger version of the iconic hero, kicking off a fresh take on the DC universe that Gunn and his team are excited to develop. In March 2023, Gunn announced that David Corenswet would star as the new Superman, and Rachel Brosnahan would take on the role of Lois Lane. Apparently, Nicholas Hoult will play Lex Luthor, and the cast also includes Nathan Fillion as Green Lantern Guy Gardner, Skylar Gisondo as Daily Planet photographer Jimmy Olsen, Wendell Pierce as Perry White, and Isabella Merced as Hawkgirl. Additionally, Anthony Carrigan will take on Metamorpho, Maria Gabriela De Faria will play Angela Spiker, aka The Engineer, Eddie Gathegi will star as Mr. Terrific, and Sarah Sampaio will portray Eve Teschmacher, Lex Luthor's henchwoman. Peter Safran shared that the new Superman film won't be an origin story. Instead, it'll explore Superman's struggle to balance his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing. The film will dive into Clark Kent's life at the Daily Planet and has established relationships with characters like Lois Lane, avoiding the usual rehashing of past storylines. While staying true to the classic ideals of Superman, the film will have a fresh take on these ideals, presenting him as a symbol of truth, justice, and kindness in a world where such virtues might seem outdated. James Gunn has shared that the new Superman film will draw inspiration from DC Comics' 2005-2008 series All-Star Superman. In this storyline, Superman has a near-death experience from overexposure to the sun and sets out to complete a series of heroic tasks before his time runs out. This came to be known as the 12 Labors of Superman. Plus, there are rumors that we might see a superpowered version of Lex Luthor, known as Apex Lex. James Gunn confirmed in April 2024 that Lex will be the main antagonist, which suggests the film might showcase a more physically imposing version of Luthor, potentially leading to some intense showdowns with Superman. The Fantastic Four, First Steps, July 25th, 2025. The Fantastic Four has had a rocky track record in films, but with their arrival in the MCU, there's some hope for a blockbuster that truly lives up to the hype. While we don't have a lot of details about the plot just yet, we do know that the movie is set in an alternate 1960s New York. On Valentine's Day 2024, Marvel Studios finally unveiled the cast, with Pedro Pascal taking on the role of Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, aka the Invisible Woman, Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, aka the Human Torch, and Eben Moss-Backrack taking on the role of Ben Grimm, aka The Thing. We'll also see Julia Garner take on the role of the Silver Surfer, with Ralph Ineson portraying the mighty Galactus. Natasha Lyonne, John Malkovich, and Paul Walter Hauser are also part of the cast, though their roles are still a mystery. Apparently, Matt Shakman has stepped in to lead the project after John Watts passed on it. Initially planned for a May 2025 release, The Fantastic Four: First Steps is now set to hit theaters on July 25th, 2025, bringing Marvel's most iconic family into the MCU at last. The Conjuring: Last Rites, September 5th, 2025. Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga have been fighting demons as Ed and Lorraine Warren since 2013, starring in 3 Conjuring films that launched an entire horror franchise. Along the way, we've gotten fabulous spin-offs like Annabelle, The Nun, and The Curse of La Llorona. But while these spin-offs will continue to send chills down our spines, it looks like the Warrens are gearing up for their final battle with the supernatural. One possibility is the Warrens' 1986 case, which loosely inspired the 2009 movie The Haunting in Connecticut, and will be adapted into the film, though the filmmakers might avoid more well-known cases to keep things fresh. The Conjuring: Last Rites is set for release on September 5th, 2025 as the final chapter in the main Conjuring series. While the plot details are still under wraps, the post-credit scene in The Nun 2 hints that the Warrens might face off against their old nemesis, Valak. Michael Chaves, who directed The Nun and The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, is returning to direct this fourth film, with a script by David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick, who also wrote the second and third installments. Since this is the final chapter in the main Conjuring series, we can expect a climactic storyline. The movie will take some creative liberties, as the franchise has done in the past, to amplify the Warrens' last case into something truly epic. Tron Aries, October 10th, 2025. Get ready to fire up your light cycle, because with the upcoming Tron Aries, we're heading back into the world of Tron. The last time we dove into the digital realm, we were treated to a Daft Punk soundtrack and a de-aged Jeff Bridges. This time, Jared Leto steps in as a computer program who escapes into the real world, bringing with him the challenges of artificial intelligence. While Daft Punk won't be returning for the soundtrack, we'll get a score from Nine Inch Nails, whose members have composed for films like The Social Network and The Killer. Joining Jared Leto in Tron Aries are some impressive names, including Greta Lee, Evan Peters, Gillian Anderson, and Jodie Turner-Smith. Jeff Bridges will also return, making him the only actor to appear in all three Tron films. Directed by Joaquin Ronig, the movie faced delays during the 2023 actor and writer strikes, but is back on track, set for release on October 10th, 2025. Mortal Kombat 2, October 24th, 2025. Ready for some more over-the-top action and gory fatalities? Well, Mortal Kombat 2 is on its way. It is set to deliver even more thrills than the first film. Released in the chaotic COVID year of 2021, the original movie managed to rake in $83 million, became Max's most streamed film at the time. With its sequel hitting IMAX screens on October 24th, 2025, we can expect it to make an even bigger splash at the box office. The last Mortal Kombat movie ended with Cole Young setting out to recruit new fighters for the tournament, hinting at the possible arrival of fan favorite Johnny Cage, and Carl Urban, known for The Boys, is set to bring the movie star fighter to life. Even though some of them met their end in the first film, returning to the sequel are Jessica McNamee as Sonya Blade, Mehcad Brooks as Jax, Lou Dillon as Liu Kang, Tadanobu Asano as Lord Raiden, Chen Han as Shang Tsung, Josh Lawson as Kano, Max Huang as Kung Lao, Joe Taslim as Sub-Zero, and Hiroyuki Sanada as Scorpion. Apart from that, Adeline Rudolph as Katana, Taddy Gabrielle as Jade, Martin Ford as Shao Kahn, Damon Herriman as Quan Chi, Anna Thune Nguyen as Queen Sindel, and Desmond Chiam as King Jared are also going to be seen in this sequel. While Jeremy Slater is handling the script, Simon McQuoid is back in the director's chair to bring all the intense fight scenes to life. Oh, and here's a promising update. Unlike the first film, the sequel will actually feature a Mortal Kombat tournament. Blade, November 7th, 2025. Honestly, I'm pretty skeptical about Blade making its planned November 2025 release date. Marvel hasn't officially announced any delays, but given the film's rocky journey, it seems likely. Since the project was announced in 2019, Blade has seen two directors come and go, Bassam Tariq and Jan Demange, and has cycled through at least 6 different screenwriters, including Stacey Osei Kaffour, Bo DeMaio, Michael Starbury, Nick Pizzolatto, Michael Green, and most recently, Eric Pearson. The plot for Blade has been through quite a few changes. Apparently, one draft was set in the 1920s and even included a major train sequence. There is a rumor that the script focused more on a female-led narrative, leaving Blade in a smaller role. But it is puzzling why a story about a vampire hunter with a sword is having such a tough time coming together. Despite the issues, Mahershala Ali, a 2-time Oscar winner, is still set to star as Blade, though he is reportedly getting pretty frustrated with the delays. Mia Goth is also still attached to the film, but Aaron Pierre and Delroy Lindo have left the project. With no director or finalized script yet, looks like Blade might be pushed to a 2026 or 2027 release date. We'll keep it on our radar and update you once Marvel makes a new announcement. Avatar, Fire and Ash, December 19th, 2025. James Cameron's Avatar, The Way of Water took over a decade to make it to the big screen, but for many fans, the wait was definitely worth it. The sequel became a blockbuster hit, setting the stage for the rest of Cameron's grand plan. Fortunately, we won't have to wait as long for the next chapter. Avatar, Fire and Ash is gearing up for a holiday 2025 release, and James Cameron will once again be at the helm, guiding us through the vibrant world of Pandora. We'll be seeing familiar faces like Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, Sigourney Weaver, Stephen Lang, and Kate Winslet return. Una Chaplin will also join as Varang, the leader of a new Na'vi tribe called the Ash People. While we don't yet have all the details on where Avatar, Fire and Ash will take Jake Sully and his family next, we do know that the Ash People, a new Na'vi tribe led by Una Chaplin's character, will bring some fiery conflict to Pandora. According to James Cameron, this film will flip the script from the previous movies because instead of mostly positive Na'vi and negative human examples, we'll see the reverse when Avatar, Fire and Ash hits theaters on December 19th, 2025. So that's all the 15 films I think hold the potential to become mind-blowing blockbusters in 2025. Which are your top 5 films from this you're looking forward to? Let us know your picks in the comment box below. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.